Yep. It's been an interesting evening, to say the least. Hey, non-fam, how are you tonight? Hope your day's been good. Hope your night's better than mine's been going. I had a major mess up tonight. Oops, I just thought I'd pop in for a little bit, for a half hour or so. I give up on what I was doing. I got cables all over the place here. Whoops. Anyways. Can you hear me okay? Yeah, this is on. Yeah, that should be fine. Yeah, I did a I did a nice long. I decided to try my hand at instead of doing a live stream, I was doing a bunch of recording, and a little bit of. I was going to talk about the FlashForge Creator 3. I did a couple 2-color giant Marvins on the FlashForge in 2-color with the IDEX extruder. And they turned out good. I mean, for the most part, considering how big they were. So I did a whole bunch of recording. On taking them out of their. They came in a. Let me find it here. It comes in a. When it does the IDEX extruding, it basically comes in a shell, which is basically the purged. I call it a purge shell. It's so that the nozzles purge themselves around it as it goes. And so basically it comes out of the shell as your finished model. So, hey, Tron, how you doing? I'm just explaining my interesting evening here tonight. I thought I'd try something different than a live stream for 3D printing purposes, and do a little bit of a review and follow up on some prints I did on the FlashForge Creator 3. So I did a whole bunch of recording. I had a couple cameras going here. Yeah, they turned out great. So I did a bunch of recordings, revealing them, talking about them, showing close-ups of them, yada, yada, yada. And I was going to basically go in and edit all the video and, edit all the video like they do and do some B-roll on it and so forth, and then post a video for the people out there interested in the FlashForge Creator 3. Anyways, I go to edit all my video, and wouldn't you know, I had no sound at all. And I'm like, no. I had about, I'd say, an hour's worth of video I was going to edit down and do about a 15-20 minute post, or a 20-minute broadcast that I was going to put on there. And no sound. Now the mic was on, but I made the mistake. I wanted to try OBS Broadcasting Studio, and so because I was playing with it a bit today, and it's really nice. I like it. Some of the features I like even better than XSplit. I mean, they're both good. OBS is free. XSplit I have an annual subscription to, but I made the dumb rookie mistake of, when I was creating my scenes in OBS, I forgot to add the microphone or the audio input source. I added it on the main camera, which is this one. And so I have one clip when I'm talking on the main camera that's good, but when I'm talking on these two cameras and doing my little reviews of these and showing the different pieces and what's happening, and when I was over at the printer talking about it, no sound. So that's okay. I may just print another one. I'll probably print another 13-hour prints for these guys. I'll probably print another one and do it again, right? Lesson learned, right? But it's a mistake I'll never make again. But I just stood here and went, oh my God, no. I could dub over the sound, but it's not as, I might look at that. I might not have to redo the whole thing, but it's not as good as the everything I said was done. So, oh well, it happens. So I thought, well, done for the night. I'm just going to pop on here for a half hour or so, see if anybody's on, and just talk about my woes. So anyways, I can put a link up here. I don't know if anybody wants to join on here. Then I had an issue getting on the StreamYard, of course, because I had to I switched my YouTube account out of my business, because I created it's a special kind of YouTube account. I forget what it's called, but I created for DeWitt specifically. So I had to transfer all of my, I had to transfer everything basically to a new email and a new identity without losing the subscribers and all that. And then, of course, StreamYards was set up for the old one, because I haven't been on StreamYards in a while, which is what I'm on now. And then, of course, StreamYards wouldn't work. So I thought, well, this is just perfect for tonight. It's just going to finish. But I finally figured out how to get StreamYard reconnected to YouTube. So here we go. Yes, 302. It was 303 and then one dropped off. So yeah, can't please everybody. But yeah, I'm excited about the 300. And what I'm hoping happens is I've emailed Creality a couple times. I backed the CR30. A few of you were probably on the stream the other night, and I mentioned this, but I backed the CR30, the mill printer, Naomi Wu's mill, but they're not expected to do delivery until, I think they said March or May. Anyways, well into the new year. So I've emailed Creality a couple different places in Creality, and I keep getting the runaround, but I'm trying to get them to send me my printer early. I have a local guy here. Oh, thanks so much, Non-Fam. Appreciate that. I have a local guy here, the First Layer. You guys have probably heard of him, but I've invited him to basically do a come on my channel with me and do a co-build, I suppose, of the CR30. So his subscribers can come on and watch him work with me and working with this printer. So I believe he did agree to do that with me. So what I'm hoping is that by the time that happens, or during that, when it happens, if I can get that magic 500 number, I'm going to talk to a few people along the way, and I'm going to see if I can get some giveaways to do for a 500 subscriber goal. And ideally, I'd like to reveal or do the CR30 printer on that stream where I hit the 500, and then announce on that stream that there's going to be a giveaway for the 500, because I think that stream may have a lot more viewers, because there are people out there, of course, probably interested in seeing a guy like me, who's not as experienced as the other guys working on that CR30, just to see what somebody like me, how it works for me. So because it's going to be an interesting stream, to say the least, when I do get that printer. You didn't know that First Layer was Canadian? Yeah, he's actually, Richard's, him and I are good friends. He's doesn't live too far from me, actually. So yeah. Yes, right here in Calgary. So yeah, he's got a lot more subscribers than I do. So I'm kind of excited to do a dual stream with him. So that'll help me out extremely well. I'm hoping so. Yeah. But if anybody wants to pop on, some people do, some people don't. Let me put it on here anyways. Oops, come on, there we go. Yeah, it's been interesting. It's been an interesting night, to say the least. So we just had a whole bunch of new restrictions handed down this afternoon. So we're in a 4-week lockdown out here now. Basically, businesses are reduced to 15% capacity, and there's a lot of things closed for 4 weeks, so including some of the schools that are closed till January 11th. But you know what? It was bound to happen, so it had to happen. But that's just the way things have been going, unfortunately. So, but the good news is that there's that vaccine in place. And I don't know if anybody saw I listened to it. The first person to get the vaccine was that the 90-year-old British woman. So cool, kind of exciting. I did this little guy last night. This was cool. I love this filament. It's a Arion silk I forget what color, silk bronze filament. And this is just a little model from Fab 365. Little robot guy. This guy is really cool. Oh yeah, I should have got a haircut before I know. Well, my wife is trying to get her nails done, and because the salons, basically nail salons, hair cutters, all those kind of services are shut down for 4 weeks starting this Saturday at midnight. So Sunday, 12:01 a.m. So there's 4 days basically. She called after I said, you better make an appointment now, and she couldn't get through. I think everybody and their brother is going to be booking to get a haircut and nails or manicures, whatever. So yeah. Yeah, that's cool, this little guy. I had a failure today. Let me show you. I don't know what happened. Well, I do know what happened. This was about 24 hours, 24 hours into a 31-hour print. It was a Dalek, if you're Doctor Who fans. It was another Fab 365 foldable model of Dalek, printed in that same gold, 0.01 or 0.1 millimeter layer height on the CR6 SE. I don't know what happened. Well, I know what happened. It came unadhered from the bed because I got some nice golden hair, and this was all off to the side. And the heat bed was off. The bed was cold. So for some reason, it was still printing and spewing filament, but the heat bed didn't stay on. It stayed on for however many hours it took to do this little bit, which was probably a good portion of 22 hours. And then the heat bed, when I got home and saw what was going on, I canceled, touched the bed, and it was ice cold. So I don't know why the heat bed shut off. I then just did a preheat right away just to see if there was a problem, and it heated up fine to 60 degrees. So don't know what happened, but it's a shame because this guy would have, just putting him together, he actually started to look a bit like a Dalek, Dalek, whatever you want to call those guys. So yeah, that was a shame. Came off the raft beautifully. There's the raft. The raft is the nicest looking piece of this right now. So yeah, anyways, it happens. So do I want to try it again? I don't know. I'm gun shy. I don't know. I got to figure out why that heat bed shut itself off. So anyways, it was just, it's a Tuesday. So we had come home to this. I record an hour's worth of footage with no sound. They impose restrictions today. Hey, I had an issue with StreamYard. So there's the three things. So maybe that's all there is. Maybe that's all that's going to happen for tonight. So hopefully. So what are you guys up to? What's happening? How's your week going so far? Only 4 reviews on here. We got Tron, Bob, Non-Fam, and the fourth is probably me looking at the other stream. So just the three of you guys. That's it. Slow night tonight out there. Yeah. Oh, well, that's all right. I just popped on anyways just to share my woes with whoever wanted to come on and listen. Oh, and on top of that, hang on. This was on one of the oh wow, first under half a roll, just the first under a week. Wow. So you're printing a lot. That's good. That's great. And I didn't think, but tonight, the other thing that happened, but it's on the soundless video, is I busted when I was cleaning the purge shell off. I busted one of my pairs of side cutters. These are the dark blue ones that came with the, I think this came with the Anycubic. So then I took over and started to use these Creality light blue ones, and fine. But yeah, I've never busted a pair of those before, and it was just cutting filament. So anyways, I guess that's 4 things that have happened tonight. So That's why I'm just going to be on here for a few minutes and go to bed. I'm going to give up. I'm writing the day off, basically, writing it off. So the day at work went pretty good, so I can't complain about that. All my, I have my 3 under 3 V2s at work. Basically, they've been printing for the last 3 days solid, these guys. So, and they're working flawlessly. So it's great. So, and this CR6SE has been working wonderful as well, other than this issue with the heat bed turning off. So I don't know. It might have been a fluke. But I'm gun shy to try another 31-hour print. So I might. I mean, it's only filament, right? So, yep, could be worse. Wow. Which color filament have you gone through there, Tron? And what are you printing? And which printer? Just curious. And I know you've probably mentioned it before. I just don't remember. Man, my desk is a mess. I got partway through the build of that rep box, and I got to get back to it eventually. So I still got to read the instructions more now. So, but I got to clean up in here. I can't believe how much garbage I produce opening these printers and doing prints. It really adds up. Overture Black PLA. Okay, is it running well for you? I've heard of Overture. I haven't tried it yet. I'm kind of I've got a whole bunch of rolls in right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I just ordered 12 rolls of different colors of the Arion Silk PLA in the different colors. Really, really loving the silk. My customer that I'm printing these for, they love the silk color. So everything I'm running these. There's 5 different colors of silk they like, and I've gone through probably 6 or 7 rolls for them alone. So, yeah, Ender 3 V2. Okay, that's right. Yeah. Little stuff to tinker with. Yeah. And that's good. Well, I'm glad it's working out for you. It's great. That's a great little printer. I hope you have, or if you're not, you're going to put those heavier springs on it. It could be a little bit of both, depending on your environment too. In my basement here, it runs about, let's see, yeah, we're running about 18 degrees down in my basement here, which is a little cool. So when I had the Ender 3, my Ender 3 V2s down here, oh, you did good, because that's going to help those. You see how much tighter they make that those knobs stay, right? But yeah, when I had my Ender 3s down here, I found myself running my heat bed at 65 or 70 to get the filament to stick good, just because it's chilly down here. Same with all my printers down here. I run the heat bed in the winter time now, 65 or 70 degrees. In the summer, I can get away with 60 because it's warm down here. Oh, you won the CR6SE. That's right. Awesome. Did I know that? That's incredible. I don't know if I knew that. That's great. That's a nice printer. I've got right down there. I've got a second one here to build on one of my streams. So my other one's the other one's on my desk behind me, and I got the second one down there. I liked it so much. So, you're going to love that printer. Excellent. So yeah, as far as the sticking, again, sometimes when you think your Z height is right, maybe go down a little lower. I mean, when I first started, they were telling me, or what I was reading and watching, is that you want it to feel like fishing line on the bed, but I find that I want to squish it a little more than that, even so. But on that printer, you just want to make sure. The one thing, oh, okay, I haven't heard of that. I try not to use glue stick. I have not. What I'm having a problem with on the Ender 3 V2s is I have 3 of them at the office. One of them sticks beautifully, and then when it cools off, I just pop everything right off. The second one, again, sticks beautifully, and I have to kind of pry them off a little bit. And the third one sticks really well, but when it cools off, I actually have to put the scraper under a little bit and pry it off a little bit. So the 3 beds are acting differently for some reason, and they're all printing the exact same file, exact same slice. And it could be that they're leveled a bit different. The Z offset could be a little bit different on them. So, but I found that I've just had to go down a little lower on that first layer. And I always run my first layer at, if it's a 210, if it's a filament, I'm normally running a 210, I run my first layer at 220. So I get a little bit of extra melt. I run it at 220 and I don't start the fan until layer 3. And again, a little bit of squish on that first layer, more than you might think, but not too much. You know, it's something that you will eventually figure out, and it'll just become second nature. And I'm still finding the odd time I'm leveling as I go on that first layer. So, but that'll come. But it should stick fine, especially on a new printer. So, hey Brian. 18 Celsius room, you can heat the bed to 40 Celsius for the first layer, then turn it off. Okay. On the CR6SE, on the stock class bed? Really? I'm surprised it sticks at 40 Celsius. Interesting. And then you turn it off after the first layer. Because I had this issue with, I was just telling these guys, I had this 31-hour print, and it was about 20 hours, 24 hours, whatever into it, on my CR6SE right there, right behind my chair. And I came home, and it was basically a mess of string on the bed, and it had just come out of position, and it was just being dragged around by the nozzle. And what happened was I felt it, and the bed was cold. So as soon as that bed cooled off, this just slid right off. So that's interesting that you get away with that. And that's just with, are you using any adhesion? Are you using glue stick or anything on that? Or just the bed as it is? That's just really odd. Or unless it's a different kind of filament. But yeah, no, I couldn't get away with that at all. So I wish that would have happened on this thing, because it was just a few hours away from being done. And the first layer looks great and all, but yeah, as soon as that bed cooled off this came. So unfortunately, I didn't have a camera recording it at the time. Yeah, it could be. And oh, hi Will. The ambient temperature has a lot to do with how well the first layer sticks as well. So most definitely. Hardest time getting PLA off the build plate until you stuck it in the freezer. Wow. And you know, it's funny because, as I said, on one of my Ender 3 V2s at my office, the one printer, it can be cold as ice and the prints are still sticking. I have to get that scraper, get a corner under, and then get right under it. So it'd be interesting to see if I could turn that printer off after the heat bed off after the first layer and see if it sticks. I think the Ender glass or the Creality glass beds seem to be inconsistent. As I say, I have 3 of them and they all behave differently. So yeah, the brims should stick together. If you're doing a brim and if you're getting separate lines, like if your brim's lines are not meeting, then you definitely need to go lower on your nozzle. You need to lower that x-axis for sure. Or the z-axis, I'm sorry. Your nozzle definitely needs to be closer because, yeah, a brim should stick together, because the idea of a brim is that it comes up and touches your model and it basically glues it in place. And if your filament's not sticking together on your brim, it's going to allow for some wiggle room. So, yeah. So there's a clue there for sure that you need to lower that nozzle a little bit. Yeah. Now a raft, unlike a brim, when you get a raft, if you look at the way this did the raft, so the first layer of the raft is a typical decent first layer. And then when you get on the top layers of a raft, they purposely are thick lines and separate. I'm sorry. This is the first layer of the raft. So that's the layer that's onto the bed. and those are thick lines with obvious gaps in between them. So, and then as the raft builds up, it comes and it gives it a nice layer. But what happens is it lays down such a thin line, such a thin extrusion on that one, so that and there's a tiniest bit of a gap there should be between the raft and the print, so that when the print comes off, the raft just peels off just perfectly clean from the back of the print. It's designed to do that. But yeah, and so it gives you really thick lines on the first layer of a raft, because that's going to compensate for any unevenness in the bed and so forth. And that's why we do a raft. So then basically what the raft is doing is, instead of the bed being the first layer that your filament has to adhere to, it's going to be the raft that it has to adhere to. So you're pretty much guaranteed a decent first layer on the raft, providing your bed's not way out of whack. Otherwise, the raft won't stay down either. I'm using Simplify 3D. I tried a couple Cura prints, and they worked out fine as well, but I've paid for Simplify 3D, so I use Simplify 3D for that one, and I just use an Ender 3 Pro profile to start with. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm really surprised, Brian, that you're doing that. Wow. That's cool. I'll have to try that with my one Ender 3 V2, the one that I have to use a knife to get it off, and just out of curiosity, and see if I turn the heat bed off after the first layer or two, if they should stick, because they're next to impossible to get off when it cools off. So, but as I say, I couldn't get away with that on my other one, because when I walk up to it after it's cooled off, I literally just pick the pieces up off the bed with no hesitation, no resistance at all. So, yeah, Simplify is pretty pricey. The other one you can try and mess around with if you want, but they don't have a Creality profile for the Ender 3, I don't believe, is the Prusa Slicer. Prusa Slicer is free. And I don't know if but I'm sure if you check on the Facebook pages for the Ender 3 V2, there's going to be somebody that'll have a profile for the Prusa Slicer that they could give you, that you could load in it for that printer. Yeah, I've heard that too. Now, I've heard that too. The funny thing is, I laughed about this. Actually, that was discussed on the first layer, I think, last Saturday or the Saturday before. I cleaned my beds with a yellow rag. With a yellow rag and isopropyl, because I have tons of isopropyl at the office. And I cleaned my bed with that. And so, gee, I don't know why. I've never seen any yellow stuff come off. But anyways, but I've had my Anycubic. Anycubic has their Ultra Base, which is similar to the Creality glass surfaces. And I've had my Anycubic i3 Mega S at my office for over 2 years now. And all I clean it with is a rag and isopropyl alcohol. And it's beautiful. It's a great bed. And I've had no problems as far as wiping the surface off. And it's still working fine after 2 years with being printed almost every day. So yeah, as a non-fan said, he does that and it's all good. So I think it just depends. And as I say, they're fussy, because I mean, 3 brand new Ender 3 V2s, and the 3 beds are behaving differently, and I clean them all the same way. So I think there's a little bit of a issue there, but that's why, and eventually I will switch them all to the flexible build plates. Speaking of that, I think you guys saw this, but I looked at this again. Yeah, exactly, non-fam. I'm going to be switching my 6SE to this. I didn't realize that I bought this, but this came with my 6SE. It's the Creality flexible build plate, and I love this build plate. It's quite neat, but look at the surface on that thing. Gold. It's beautiful. So I'm going to try that. I might actually try this build plate and rerun this Dalek model and see if I can do it. It's only 31 hours. I just leave it going for the day. But yeah, I want to give that a try. And if I like that and if it works, I don't think these will cost too much. I haven't seen these on the Creality site yet. So I ordered this. I must have ordered this as an add-on on the Kickstarter when I bought that printer. So, and it comes with a magnetic build sheet that you put on the bed as well. So I'm going to give that a try and see how that works. Yeah, on the Prusa, my Prusa is the same way as yours. That PEI sheet, I have issues, and a lot of people do have issues with PLA sticking to the textured sheet. But on that smooth PEI sheet, I have 3 of them over here. Don't know why I have 3, but yeah, IPA and a soft rag to clean them, and that's all they need. And everything sticks to those. So yeah, well, this is the one that came with the, I'm positive this is the 6SE. Yeah, this came with my CR6SE because it was a Kickstarter one. So, yeah. Yep. So, yeah, I don't know if this is on sale yet, but yeah, and it's got a really cool texture. So I'm going to be interested to see how that holds up. But yeah, I haven't seen it for sale on their site yet. So they might be coming out eventually on their site. I haven't seen it yet, but if I like it, I'm going to buy one for my other one as well, and I'll eventually put flex plates on my Ender 3 V2s, whether they be Wham Bams or I'll buy them some. Well, Wham Bams are expensive, yeah. But then also with the CR6SE, I got, and this I don't remember ordering because I would never have ordered another, but I got a second glass plate. So they sent me another one of these. I wouldn't have. I can see myself ordering the flex plate. I just don't remember the add-ons I put, but I know I wouldn't have added on another glass plate because I end up generally putting flex plates on most of my printers. So, but spare glass plate. So if I have issues when I build this second one down here, if I have issues with that one with a glass plate, like I do with my Ender 3 V2 at the office, I have this one I can switch out and try it. Hey, Mike Auto Drop, you have a good night. You've been sneaking in the background, just listening, I take it. The silent, quiet type. So you have a good night, too. Unless you're saying good night or hello, but... Oh, you're just lurking. Okay, the silent lurker. That makes sense. You haven't missed much. I was just sharing my frustrations of the night, and this stream is just to shoot the shit. So that's all there is to it. Ooh, I said shit on my stream. Oops. I got to build a little base for this boat. This is the SS Loyal. I got to build a base for it. I want to build like a little base that has the name on it. So I got a few projects to do. I have a local guy that is wanting me to design and print him some. At first, I didn't know what he was talking about because I'm not a guitar player, but some pick guards. He has this really funky looking guitar, and he wants some pick guards for it printed in gold PLA. So I'm going to work on that. I got to go pick up his the ones that he has, the black ones. So yeah, I got a few things coming up on the go. I've got a Creality LD002H resin printer coming in. I'm going to do an unbox of that. That's going to be fun because resin is... I had an older one. I had the earlier version of that, and I sent it back to Amazon because there were some issues with it. Oh yeah, and the bronze filament. Let's see. That would be. Oh, look at that. Hang on. Yeah, look at that color contrast. That would be nice. Good idea, non-fam. Just because you suggested it, I'll do it. That would look really nice. I got to design that. That's another Fusion 360 project for me. I want to design something cool for that. And then maybe people will like it and I can design and sell. Not sell, but I can give away some benchy bases. Benchy bases. Some beautiful benchy bases. Say that 3 times fast. That 3 times fast. yeah, so I'm wanting to try the resin again. The first time I tried resin, it wasn't a live stream. It was before I was actually starting to stream, and the print went fine. Other than I over cured it. It was transparent resin, and I over cured it, and it turned quite yellow. It was an Eiffel Tower. I still have that around somewhere, but it turned yellow because I over cured it. I didn't know how long to cure it. I just guessed. But apparently that transparent or that clear resin has an issue with turning yellow anyways. So CR6SE take the same nozzles. It can, yeah. Well, the CR6SE nozzles are a little different. Hang on. They're a little different shape, but they're basically interchangeable. Let's see what these ones look like. I got this thing called a high-end nozzle kit as an add-on. So yeah, so now let me find, there's that, and let me find, just to show you. So here we go. Here is, they sent me a ton of nozzles. I got like 20 nozzles with this, my Kickstarter one too. I won't run out of nozzles. So I don't know if I can show, you know what, let me switch cameras here real quick because it'll be easier to show you guys close up. I think it's this one, the 20. There we go. So the nozzles that came on your CR6SE look like, come on, look like this. It's just it's a different, man, why are you trying to focus on me? So hold on, oh, this is how we do it, okay. So that's the nozzle. Yeah, you get the idea. It's a different shaped nozzle, and it's got that sock that goes around it, and I think they shaped this nozzle in the sock just so that it's almost a perfect fit. So that's what came stock with the 6SE. And then I ordered this, what's called the high-end nozzle kit. I got a couple of these, and this came with, yeah, high-end, and this came with a case, nice case with a bunch of different nozzles, but the nozzles that came in it are the same nozzles. This is just one of them. And that's the same type of nozzle that you're going to have on your Ender 3 V2. So, yeah, they're definitely interchangeable. Because what the CR6SE is going to do, it doesn't matter. It's just that the sock, the silicone sock, won't fit over this nozzle the way it does over the stock nozzle. So because the CR6SE, it doesn't matter, even if this nozzle goes in and the height's not perfect, it's just it's doing its auto leveling by the nozzle touching the bed, so it just may have to go down a little further or whatever. But they do look like they're very much the same height anyway. So, but yeah, they're interchangeable nozzles for sure. Yeah, it came with some pretty neat nozzles. The one in the middle there looks like it's a 1 millimeter nozzle. You can see right down the center of that. And the black ones, there we go. That's a good shot of them ones that came right there. I almost think there's a point, something smaller. It doesn't say, or does it say on the side of these nozzles what size they are? It does. Yeah, there's a 0.4. Let's see. Come on, these are hard to get out. So the one in the middle, I'm going to guess is a 1 millimeter. No, it's a 0.6. This has got to be a 1. Well, that doesn't say what it is. But the fact that I can see right through that, you can see right through that, it's probably at least a 0.8 or a 1 right there. It's pretty thick, pretty big hole. And they're obviously different materials. I got to sort of look up what they are. And then this one looks even tinier. This is a 0.25. I think all three of these are 0.25s. No, 0.25, 0.4, but they look like a different material. And a 0.4. So, yeah, I'll play around with them one day. So this is obviously 0.25. This must be hardened steel or something. I don't know what material that is. So, oops. Yeah. If you think that's big, Marcel, you got things that sound nasty but aren't. What, you got a 2 millimeter or something? Yeah, I can't read anything on the side of that. I'm going to assume that's a 1. But anyways, I haven't played with different size nozzles yet, so one of these days I will. Anyways, I got 2 of those because that was, I think, a $7 add-on to my Kickstarter campaign. So I thought, well, I'm paying shipping anyways, so $7, I'll get a couple of those. If I don't need them, I've got another one. And, my 500 subscriber giveaway, as far as I'm concerned, I've got one of them unopened here. That could be a giveaway prize. That's a nice little giveaway prize, a nozzle kit for the 6SE. And then they also gave me a complete extruder kit for the 6SE. So the motor, whoops. Oh, I just sliced my finger open with something. Oh, something on this motor just sliced my finger open. Oh well, I won't bleed all over my stuff. Let me switch this back. Brio. There we go. Yeah, so I've got 2 of these. Complete extruder kit, including the motor for the 6SE. So you may never need it, but again, it was one of those, get it while it was cheap on the add-ons, right? So 2 of those. And again, I don't need 2 of these, so it could be another giveaway. We'll see. What was the other fun thing I got? Oh yeah, just an extra hot end, and yeah. Man, that hurt. I think I got a piece of metal in my finger. Oh no, thank you, Non-Fam, for joining in. That was all Loyal Moses, so I'm glad you got that. Oh man, that hurt. I actually sliced my finger open on something there. Oh well, whatever. I've hurt myself before. Not the first time, but I think there's a piece of metal in there. And then just some spare sensors and stuff. So yeah, I was happy to contribute to that campaign. I gotta admit, I was a little nervous. I was a little nervous leading up to the whole thing because online I was reading about all these issues that people were having with the shorting. I haven't plugged the USB cable in. Man, this hurts. Oh my goodness. I haven't plugged the USB cable into the 6SE yet, so I don't need to. I do everything with my micro SD. So, and then the power switch I haven't had a problem with. I've had no problems with it. It's been running fine. The only problem I've had is the heat bed turning off 23 hours into this print. So, but I'm going to just write that off as maybe something fluke. I don't know. Jake from State Farm, how are you tonight, sir? We're just chit-chatting about my Thursday night woes, but that's it. So, yeah, I don't, I'll be honest, I'd like to learn, but Raspberry Pi is a little over my head. I need an education. Whoops. When I first got into 3D printing, before I had a lot of the then the stream was gone. Yeah, I was having issues with StreamYard. But when I first got into 3D printing, I heard about Raspberry Pi, so I thought, well, I'm going to buy myself a Raspberry Pi. I even printed this case for it. Got this cool case. I bought one of those little Raspberry Pi cameras. And I thought, yeah, that's cool. And then something about Octoprint. And then then I started to look into it and read it, and it just went way over my head. And that's been sitting in my box over there. I think it's a decent one. It's got an HDMI port on it, and I don't know what version it is or anything, but it's got 4 USB ports on it and all that. And it's like, I have no clue what to do with this. I have no clue what to do with it. It's been sitting over there for about a year and a half now. So I don't know whether I'll use it or not. So we'll see. Apparently there's something coming out that I'm going to get with the CR30. Creality has a new sort of Wi-Fi box or something that hooks up to the printers, and does something similar to Raspberry Pis. I'm not sure. You have Octopi connected to your Prusa. Yeah, I'd love to. One day I'll sit down and figure. I mean, I can figure it out. I can figure out anything. That's sort of one of my talents. Is if I want to learn about something, if I put the time into it and the effort, I'll teach it to myself. I've taught myself most of the stuff about 3D printing with help from the online people. But this was just a little over my head. Just sort of like Marlin programming is a little over my head. I just haven't really taken the time or made the effort to learn it. So one day I will. I have this sitting here, and again, I think it's a decent one. I have no idea, but one day I'll hook it up. One day. Until then, it just sits in here quietly, doesn't bother me, and then. Yeah, they are. Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see where they take that. And I've got that must be an extension cable for this camera. I have no clue how good this is, but apparently this is one of those. This is a little camera that hooks in somehow to a Raspberry Pi, and apparently you can view this camera over. It's even still got the little plastic over the lens. It's never been used, and you can use Octoprint or something to record time lapses and all that. Yeah. Anyways, I keep an eye on my printers. I guess the disadvantages right now, I have a couple of those Creality cameras which work really good over Wi-Fi, over so I can turn on my Creality camera right now and see my printers at the office what they're doing, but I can't shut my printers off. So for me, rather than learn all this Raspberry Pi and Octoprint stuff, for me, I think it's simpler to just buy some smart plugs and plug each printer into a smart plug, so I can have, printer, whatever. If I see them screwing up on the camera, boom, turn the smart plug off, power the printer off. So you have one of those Wi-Fi boxes, the Creality one. Yeah, that's. I watched their stream or a video on that Wi-Fi box, and it looks like the direction they're heading in, they're not quite there yet, I don't think, but it's interesting what they're looking to do with it. But again, I just don't think it's there yet. So, but again, I'm not technologically advanced enough on all that end of the stuff to know. That's why I, in my last giveaway, I gave away it was the Raspberry Pi version of the thing that came with the palette that I got with the Palette Pro 2, sitting over here. But I had no clue how to use it, so I thought, I'm just going to give it away. I don't need to use it. I don't know how to use it, so it was brand new in the box, so I gave that away. And the person that got it has been in contact with me lately and said he's using it, and he was grateful to get it. So. But you hate them. So non-fan blocked you from Creality's YouTube channel? Oh. Where are we at? 10:39. I was only going to stream for a half hour or so. But that is my... Oh, he didn't. Once you print enough droids, you're going to do a giveaway on your channel for a custom printed droid. Oh, that's cool. You always smack in their chat, smack talk in their chat. Cool. What kind of droids are you printing, Marcel? Is it your design, a droid? You're going to take over the world with your droids. Yeah. Well, anyways, I think I'm going to shut her. I just came on to share my woes about recording an hour's worth of footage to do a put together a video to post on my FlashForge Creator 3 showing off these two beautiful large 2-color Marvins that I printed. Aren't they pretty? They're nice. And the fact that I recorded an hour's worth of footage with no sound because I thought I'd give OBS a try and should have practiced more, should have done a dry run, but hey. R2-D2s and smaller ones. Okay, cool. Very cool. Do I mainly use PLA? You have some PLA and PETG for added strength, etc. Yeah, PLA is my go-to for the main part. I have, I probably have 20 rolls between here and my office, 20 or 25 rolls of PETG, and I will use PETG. I've heard that the Ender 3 V2s aren't PETG friendly. I don't know. I'm going to try it, but my Prusa runs a lot of PETG. The FlashForge can run PETG in a heartbeat. I want to try nylon on that thing. That's supposed to pretty much run anything. And I've run PETG on my Anycubic as well and on the Prusa Mini. So depending on what I'm printing, I'll run the PETG for sometimes because of the color. I like some of the colors I can get in PETG better. And sometimes for the strength of something. So, but I would say 88-90% of what I do is in PLA. So, and I'm really digging, as I say, these Arion silk colors. So, yeah. Anyways, guys, I'm going to call it quits for tonight. Thanks for popping in. I appreciate it. It was much better than talking to myself this whole time. And I'm going to redo some, I'm going to print another one of these, start another one of these prints tonight so I can do my FlashForge review all over again with sound this time. So, because I know there's a lot of people, I've had some people on some of my earlier things contact me, and because they know I have a FlashForge, and there's very few videos out there on FlashForge Creator 3 printer, on FlashForge printers, period. So I figured I've got one. I may as well start, you know, doing some streams. So if I can help somebody out there that has one, why not? So isn't it better to purchase filament when needed to have a bunch stockpiled? Well, yes and no. I've had filament open for 1.5 years now. Works fine. Mind you, the climate I'm in right here, we don't get, like, it's very dry. I'm out in the western Canada in Calgary, Alberta, and it's very dry climate out here. So I don't get a lot of moisture issues with filament. And if I do, I have a big commercial grade food dehydrator. So I have dried my filament out before if I hear the pop, snap, crackle, pop type thing. So, but I've never really had an issue. And then unopened filament, of course, I've probably 70% of the filament I have is unopened. So and it's got an indefinite shelf life if it's unopened. So yeah, I want to do more FlashForge videos for sure, because there's a demand for them. I know, because when I got this, I tried looking. I had a hell of a time finding instructions on how to change a nozzle. It's not as hard as I thought, but they're really different nozzles on the FlashForge, and so there's not that much interest out there. Yeah, a lot more moisture on the West Coast. Yeah, because if you're by the ocean or any body of water, Eastern Canada, where I grew up in Toronto, it's very humid there, winter and summer, so there would be a lot more moisture. So yeah, anyway, and no problem, Brian. I hope I answered some of your questions. I'm by no means the most knowledgeable person out here, but I am gaining a little experience each and every day. So anything I can do to help or any questions I can answer, I'm happy to. So, and I appreciate you guys popping on to all my streams, and you know, you guys are the reason I keep doing this, because if I have no viewers, then why bother? Otherwise, I'm just talking to myself, and I think that eventually would drive me insane. So. Okay, guys, thank you again, and we'll close it for now, and I'll be on again. I don't know. I'm going to try and get this thing with the sound recorded and get that done by the end of the week, and I'll be doing another live stream Sunday. I may continue building the rep box. I'm not sure what I'll do on Sunday. We'll see how my week goes, but thanks, everybody. Good night. Marcel, Tron, Jake from State Farm, Brian, Will, Non-fam, who am I missing? I'm scrolling up to see who's here. But anyways, thank you guys for dropping in. I truly appreciate it. Mike was here earlier, and we'll talk to you guys later. Have a good night. And as I like to say hi to a stranger, smile at a stranger. You never know who they could be. So we'll talk to you guys later. Take care. You guys be safe too.